Right, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda Cr-V 2.2 EX diesel. As you see here, it's a 2013 car. This one's finished in passion red, which is a lovely colour on the car, and this one's got the contrasting ivory leather interior, which I'll come to in a minute, which looks absolutely fantastic. The car's in really good condition. It's been fully serviced by Honda throughout its life, apart from the very last service, which we've literally just done this morning. But I'll just go around the car for you. Lights and lenses there, completely clear, intact. There's no cracks or condensation in those at all. Front bumper is very clean, apart from the odd suicidal fly. And the bonnet itself is very clean. Only the lightest stone chips on there, and there's hardly anything on there at all. Coming down the near side of the vehicle first. It's extraordinarily clean in the panel work. There's no dimpled dents or marks on there at all that I can see. Front wing, very clean indeed. And front near side alloy, generally good. There's a tiny bit of curbing you can see there up on top right hand side, which has caught something, which is fairly common on the near side front wheels on all cars. But the panel work is a lovely lustre to the paintwork. It's really nice. Rear and side alloy, completely clean and unmarked on there. Bumper on the back, again, very clean indeed. It's got a tow bar fit, as you can see there as well. Could prove handy. It looks like a single electric swan, so nothing major being on the back of the car. But generally, again, really nice. And then down the opposite side of the vehicle, again, very clean in the panel. It's not to say you won't find the odd little mark. You always will on cars. I try and pick up as much as I can, but there'll be the odd minor one which the camera doesn't grab, obviously. Rear offset alloy, clean as a whistle. And then the remaining panel work is really nice on the car. And then front offside alloy, absolutely as clean as a whistle. So we're looking at a really handsome looking car that's in very nice, clean and completely original condition. Coming into the boot area now, and the Cr-Vs are known for having these enormous boots. They are massive in the back here. Tonneau cover, you can see there's completely is here and intact. 60/40 fold on the rear seats, and you've got the handle there on both sides. And you just pull those in one motion, and then the seats just flip and fold forward. It is electric tailgate on these vehicles, just to show you it is working exactly as it should do. Coming to the back now, you see straight away the enormous amount of rear legroom that's in these Cr-Vs. It really is fantastic. Back of the front seats there in really good condition. That's not always a given actually. Kids tend to sort of bash their feet on the back, but this one's been given very light use, and that leatherwork looks absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, I shouldn't complain that the sun's out, but it doesn't do the videos any favours, but it really is a lovely looking interior. Front passenger door card, again, absolutely beautiful condition. All the recesses have been kept really nicely. Footwell area on the front passenger side, again, clean as a whistle. And the passenger seat there hardly shows any wear at all. It's absolutely beautiful. Driver's door card, as with all the others, has been kept very well indeed. Driver's seat, which is an electric seat on these latest Cr-Vs with 2 memory settings, in absolutely fantastic condition again. They just shows how well built these cars are, but this interior combination looks absolutely beautiful on the car. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section of the video. Dashboard looks pretty much as new. Again, the two-tone colouring with the silver strip, chrome strip, looks really good on the car. I'm just going to close the panoramic roof and the blind across because it glares on the sat-nav screen. The sat-nav, as you can see there, working absolutely perfectly. And if I pop the car into reverse, you get that lovely clear gridded parking camera as well. And you see dual zone climate control, all working absolutely beautifully. Come across the main dashboard itself and just pan in there for you. 59,990 miles currently recorded, and there's no warning lights on this dashboard at all. Auto lights, auto wipers, obviously multifunction steering wheel with audio and information controls, plus hands-free functions as well. But everything, all the switches, all in really fabulous condition. And as I said, the video won't do justice to how this car looks inside. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack is here with the car, plus very importantly, lock and wheel nut keys here and present too. So just a pan under the dashboard now. Look under the bonnet rather at the engine bay. Beautifully presented by Honda, always. Cam chain driven engines and no big cam belt services in these cars at all. More of which in the following road test video. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda Cr-V 2.2 EX diesel. This particular car is registered LG13OYU, and mileage at the start of the road test is 59,990 miles. The reason we do the road test is just so customers actually get to see the cars we're selling in operation. That way, if there's any issues on the vehicle, we can relay them back to you straight away. They're also done on the very quiet country roads, very close to our premises, so hopefully be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive on the vehicle. As you probably know from the advert, obviously it's been a very well maintained car with all the servicing up until the one we've just done, which actually wasn't due, but we did it anyway. But all the previous servicing has been done by the Honda dealerships, and it feels like it. The car's wonderfully tight and taut. I've had umpteen CR-Vs, including this shape, so I know exactly how they should drive, and this drives absolutely fantastically well. Engine starts instantly, of course. Push button starts on this with the keyless start. Settles to a completely smooth, even idle. But that's only half the story, because the engine's just such a fabulous unit. It's got tons of torque, as you'd expect, but it's so smooth and civilized in operation that, you know, it's just so tractable throughout the entire rev range. You don't have the sort of dips and plateaus in power that you get with some engines. This one's got it straight away, and is keen to rev throughout the whole of the rev range, and it pulls beautifully. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car, whether it be petrol or diesel, and this car's been running for quite some time now. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, smooth, positive, and actuation. No vibrations coming back through the clutch pedal, whether it's engaged or disengaged. And the bite point is exactly where it should be on the pedal travel on the car. Clutch then feeds into the Honda 6-speed gearbox, mounted nice and high up on the dash, so it's really simple and easy to operate. The gear shift quality is astonishing. It really is. For those, you know, I've seen my videos before. I mean, I always maintain, you know, this would be in many manufacturers' sports cars. It's got such a great quality of shift. It feels mechanical in the way it operates, albeit it actually uses cables to go from the gear lever to the gearbox. But Honda do a fabulous job on it to make it feel, you know, as precise as it does. The actual use of it is just, you just guide the gear lever wherever you want it to go, and it slots home beautifully. Synchromesh quality is fantastic, and I can't detect anywhere in it at all. It feels as precise as any I've driven, even with some with incredibly low mileage. So in terms of the powertrain, the vehicle, all absolutely spot on. Steering on the car, which is a strong point on these CR-Vs, tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at all at this speed or any up to the legal limit. It just feels fantastic on the road. It's very precise. It's got it's very well tuned to the chassis as well. The chassis is able to cope with the steering, even though it's quite, you know, quick in its rack. You don't get the kind of lurching that you get with some cars of this type. And that's great for family use as well, because you don't get the the wallowing that goes on, which can be normally associated with cars with kind of quite a high level or high centre of gravity. But there's no wear in it. I can't feel anything. Likewise, the chassis. What I'm looking for on these road tests is any kind of noises coming from underneath that shouldn't be there, sort of clonks, clanks, or otherwise. And that's normally quite innocent stuff actually, which is like little anti-roll bar links or rubber bushes, but they can make a, you know, what is a wonderful car feel sort of a little bit old before its time. But this one's absolutely spot on. The chassis also got a brilliant combination of ride and handling. Honda, to be fair to them, you know, they're the world's best-selling car in this called the SUV markets, they like to call it. And you can see why, because they just get it absolutely right. It's got a very compliant ride without being too soft, and is able to cope with, you know, the minor ridges or potholes, that stuff, very well indeed. But what, as I said, what it doesn't allow is sort of this sloppy handling, and so that's it's a masterstroke from Honda how they get these things done. But just a lovely car to drive. Looking around inside the car, sorry, I'll do the brakes first actually, just ready to get around the corner, give them a bit of a shove. Yeah, it's a really solid brake pedal. What I'm looking for when I hit the brakes is, normally if you've got any kind of sort of like warping of discs, you'll feel them straight away, and also when you apply more pressure as well, but there's nothing on it. It's a smooth pedal, brings the car down straight and true, doesn't pull left to right or otherwise. So looking inside the car, as you know from the walk around video, it's in beautiful condition in here, but it's just such a lovely place to sit and drive a car. The big panoramic roof adds loads of natural light into the car, and then you get this wonderful two-tone interior, which doesn't always work on cars. Even Honda have had some horrors in the past where they've made some pretty garish looking things, but this is a really nicely done. It's very, very, very much like some BMWs I've seen in their colour scheme. And colour matching, and they've probably copied them, which is no bad thing as long as they don't copy the rest of it. But no, it's a really lovely interior in here, and the dashboard and build quality is typically Honda tough. I mean, they're beautifully made cars, but the dashboard's just very simple to operate. Obviously sat nav, everything's working perfectly. Air conditioning is pumping out absolutely ice cold air, and it's a pretty muggy 25 degrees or 24 degrees rather outside. All the gauges, all the instrumentation working exactly as it should as well. For those that don't know, and I'm sure you probably do, these are four-wheel drive vehicles. You know, albeit Honda know their market well, because they know that most people will just do this, just drive along on perfectly normal roads where you just don't need the four-wheel drive operating. So it isn't. Basically, there's no switches to press, buttons to engage, nothing like that. As soon as you start to spin the front wheels in sort of snowy or icy conditions or on a muddy field, then it'll sense that and it'll activate the rear wheels to come in to give you four-wheel drive, and then it'll disengage it pretty quickly as well. Obviously it saves on tyres, fuel, all the mechanical issues associated with permanent four-wheel drive systems as well. It's brilliant in its simplicity. It's typical Honda in that sense. As I said at the start of the videos are critical, so if there's something not quite right, we do let people know. The car genuinely drives absolutely beautifully. It's a really high quality product, this, and it's a car that's been kept very, very nicely indeed. If you've got any more questions about the vehicle, then please don't hesitate, do give us a call, and we'll happily answer any questions you might have about this car.